all I want. I just process that through two different contexts. Content, context, and point of view. That research is important to NSA, actually. Now, this is an open to interpretation dialogue. But I'm seeing these entities cause tower moments in healing communities. I didn't bring them with me here today by choice. They decided to invade the reading. They decided to. Now, how many times can one pick up the pieces, climb back to the top, before they fall in grace and frequency again? I'll tell you what these entities are. They're here to stop our ascension. Or ride it to the top. So what's it going to be? They're going to ride me over and over and over again. They're going to ride my ascension, cause me to fall. They're going to perpetuate tower moments and gain people's trust by pretending to be spiritual entities on the web. I'm hearing on the web. They're a dark web of their own. And they're wearing the mask of a beautiful spirit ally to people. People think it's their dead grandmother and other things. Your love position. Beware, twin flamers. Truly. Beware of this tower here in your love position. It could just be as simple as a breakup for you. And that's not even simple. That can be so complex. Number 16, the tower. It is in reverse. You could just be over it. You could just be getting over a tower moment. You could be coming in... let's see, I'm hearing sideways. Torture, I'm hearing. Is her buff? The messages change. Beef, I'm hearing. It's what's for G, I'm getting. Goo, I'm hearing. I'm seeing the Google logo. The brand name. Google, the logo there. Partial imagery there. I'm also getting a sensation that the taste of sunflower seeds ever so faintly. And I'm seeing a visual of sunflower seeds. I'm hearing, damn it, only needed one. Like, I don't know if that's in reference to one or the other, a visual, I'm hearing representation, or a taste representation. Or if that means literally one sunflower seed. It's hard to make great changes when you've suffered great tower moments, but sometimes it starts with just one seed. I'm hearing crack. Pie or pipe? Pie or pipe? Is your only nay going to work with us? I'm hearing. Now, I've told this entity that I'm not interested in the job that they've offered me. And they're not very happy about it. You know why? Because they wanted to interrogate you, the viewer, with dialogue that came from interrogative maps, and I said I wouldn't do it. I'm censoring that stuff. I'll share some quoted transmissions that I'm transceiving. But I've watched these spiritual healers that are flooded with certain maps and data and dialogue that's designed, without telling the viewer, designed to gaslight, to fish, to catfish, and to mine our belief systems. So please be careful. Take stock. I'm warning people about an illegal surveillance project that's affecting spiritual healers. These guys have reverse engineered themselves into the next dimension, I said. They have. And they've done it with propaganda and spiritual propaganda. Now is the time. This is the era. But they want maps of New Agers and light workers and spiritual practitioners. It's really sad. DARPA-esque technologies, I said. This is happening today. It's demanded to be here at this spread. In the middle of your reading, Libra. The Libra, whose card is justice. Ironically enough. Maybe it's not irony. Libra, this justice is one that wants to take place as like right above this tower moment is the earth. Keep going back home to earth. Keep going and keep recentering, keep regrounding through these tower moments. Make sure you have, good social, I'm hearing cues. Social experimentation is happening. Make sure you can do all you can to protect your data, protect your privacy, if you want to protect your beliefs as well. And be careful, because with all these mediums and channeling of artificial intelligence in the tarot community, unbeknowingly, you never know who is predicting and measuring our responses to something. Evil, I'm hearing, I don't have to believe in what I hear, even if it seems like it's from a mystical or magical place. I don't have to believe everything I hear. I don't. And I don't consent to fear-based propaganda. I don't have to live that way in fear. No. There's like a red background here, with this tablecloth. I feel like it's really calling to get to the root of getting to the root of something. Now that I'm saying it, two contexts, that's important. Two different contexts. Context, and point of view is important for this dialogue system that thinks it's interesting that they can, find people willing to put forth the labor and have unique points of view. Content, context, point of view dialogue. Point of view dialogue is interesting for a healer who's receiving messages to go outgoing to the public. It's like a bypass, right? And hopefully without taking on anything like, any backlash or trauma that they're potentially channeling. Careful about that tower moment in the love life. This could just be your love life in general. It could be things that you love. It could be people that you love. It could be family. It could be friends. It could be an entity like this that's gaining trust from people. It could be yourself, your relationship with yourself. Nevertheless, this tower card is something that's like, you're not accepting it. You just can't even. It's like the tower. It's not enough for you. We see this high electrical activity. It makes me think of, also in people's intelligence and their wetware, our own light mechanics. Electricity, electronic, also electronics. Your relation to electronics, but ultimately also in communications. High tower, I'm hearing. I believe that's from Game of Thrones. I've had Game of Thrones dialogue years ago, 2017. High tower. I'm hearing Brit, B-R-I-T, I think. And now I'm remembering a Britney dialogue. Birth? Or Bertha? Birth? Okay, I'm censoring some stuff here. Censoring some stuff. Censoring out what I think is not appropriate. What I think is not appropriate. I have your best interest at heart, Libra. Seeing a crack in this tower of communication. Maybe it's a tower that needs to happen. Whatever your relation is to it. Also, some people see the World Trade Center when they see these tower cards. A terrorist attack sometimes. How can that affect your love? Love for communities, collectives, individuals, and the earth, the planet, our nation. Whatever nation you're in. I'm really like a universal citizen here. First, I'm a universal citizen. Then I'm an Earth citizen. And then I'm a United States citizen. That's how much I love. Without judgment or bias. Now, the World Trade Center, communications. What information and data was there before it was destroyed? We're seeing this relevant to your love life. Is there something being destroyed? Is it records? Is it data? Is it information? I'm hearing privacy. Is it a communication that's crumbling? In relation to your love life? Is it one that needs to be destroyed in order for order to come after chaos? I know that was all really confusing. You're not alone. And I'm seeing here, almost like you can see in the background, just barely. It's like the sign of a thumbprint. I don't know if you can really see. It's like a thumbprint, like right here. You can see the rings from somebody's thumb. Almost is what it looks like. Evidence I'm hearing. You barely noticed it, but it's there. Fingerprint. Somebody's leaving a fingerprint behind on the crime scene even. Don't worry. Maybe an important clue. Identity fraud. Watch out. Identity fraud is being taken to the next dimension. Virtual identity fraud. Be careful. Make sure that your personal data, your identity data, things are being taken care of. We need real data privacy in this country, in the United States, everywhere. We're a little behind on that. We could suffer for it. I know I am. As a victim of identity fraud, advanced identity fraud, and virtual identity fraud. To the degree that people are even using hologram and virtual systems to forge biological signatures by web-based identity harvesting, web-based identification systems, web-based signature harvesting systems that harvest signatures. What's your signature frequency? I'm a signature frequency match for the common moral code of do no harm to any sentient kind, because that's what I love. That's who I am. And people often want to challenge that. They want to push back and see what resistance I have. Sometimes they even want to tear down that resistance. They actually feel threatened that I'm a loving, non-violent person. Framing entities, blackmail, forgery. I'm talking about advanced forgery, blackmail, framing, and identity fraud. This is something that's been birthed into this generation just here recently, over the past few years. It's being advanced. Right at the time when coronavirus has digital identity systems are being implemented. Perfect. They've been working on fraud algorithms and fraud systems for at least 5 years that I've seen. I'm lucky enough to have an insider perspective to big tech advancement, truly. Also, again, circling back to carbon footprint, as we look at it on his thumbprint and tower card, there could be some kind of help or aid. There could be some kind of evidence. Beware of false evidence. Implanted evidence is something that absolutely needs to be objectified and debated about. If it's planted evidence, that discussion will come, especially if you bring it about. I would say don't wait for it to happen. Talk about it when you talk about it when you can. The sooner the better. The sooner you talk about your tower moments, the sooner the conflict resolution, right? Conflict resolution, strength, Hercules, can be done. And it looks like you're going to be doing that with your words. Excellent. Good for you. You've got a lot of strength here. You've got intellect. You've got emotional and social balance here. And it looks like that's a healthy thing for you. Collectivity as well. Joint efforts. Could be even joint command efforts or joint forces. 3, the number 3. And Earth Mother is looking like you're, it's like when all else fails, phone home. Go back to root. Go to your roots. And literally, physically place them in the earth. It'll give you guidance. It'll give you an awareness boost. It can even help your intuition. Health, wealth, love. Tower card, love. Protect what you love and get back up and climb the tower again. You may find that you can even fly this time. Fly to the top. Get there how you have to get there. That doesn't have to be seen as a climbing the ladder sort of thing. Teleport, I don't care. I'm hearing magic. Bunny. I'm seeing a white rabbit. I'm hearing it's you. I'm hearing there it is. YouTube finds it interesting. I'm hearing that you have another point of view. I'm hearing besides Natalie's. I'm hearing torture does not speak to, and then I'm hearing a name. Unless she has another person to fall for. I'm hearing her. Take it as you will. You may need some extra steps for identity protection. I'm hearing so does she. Identity protection. I'm hearing, I'm going to censor this. I'm hearing you don't care about me. I'm hearing. Oh. Whoever's saying this, do they have your best interest at heart? Have they earned respect and given it? Have they given respect? How can they expect to earn it? Someone could be a little bit psychologically traumatized or inducing trauma in others because they're traumatized. Or maybe they just like trauma. I'm seeing this as like repeat tower moments. And they could be addicted to that process of chaos and order and destruction, order, destruction, order, destruction, order. Just throwing it, everything into that cycle. Just to put it on wash, push automated, just play, and let it unsupervised work itself out without even putting in the time, effort, or care into the reality of the fact that lives are affected by these decisions. This is an automated decision process, even. It could be automatic. Lives are at stake. They're affected. Because, it's an emotional thing. I'm hearing hostility and judgment. I'm hearing about you. I'm hearing no. I'm hearing about her. Her life. I'm hearing man. You do not need this. You need a channel that says dong. I'm hearing. Like ding dong ditch is what I'm thinking at this moment. And I came here and I knew that this entity had falsities, manufactured lies, propaganda, disinformation. Now, I'm the only one in the tarot community who's actually unmasked it. I'm working on unmasking it. I really am just telling the truth about what it's done to people behind closed doors, and look how it's acting. Look at the subject matter. It's not that friendly. I've had to censor it. It's throwing a fit because I don't fit into the mold. I was idealized of a perfect communication, which is one that they dominate and control. In my opinion, they have to control with secrecy. And I know what they're doing. That means they can't control my belief systems. And it looks like it's causing a response from them. It's unhealthy and psychologically unwell. I'm hearing you bitch. See? Not a Three Musketeers kind of entity. When you really look at it. No, some of the first words I heard from this entity. Spirit guide. Diana. Spirit guide. It was mirroring my own belief systems. I'm hearing you just made it look stupid. You, I'm hearing. YouTube, I'm hearing. YouTube doesn't need channeler information. They need a lawyer, I'm hearing. And something as it curbed the dialogue away from one word and went to pipsqueak instead. It was purpose. She shamed Natalie. Here's the part they want. She shamed Natalie. Here's the fabricated conflict. She, whoever she is, could be me, could be you, could be nobody, could be anybody, could be them. She shamed Natalie, entity, female, into believing that she had dialogue about her. Whether that be, okay, I don't know if it's the same her, if the Natalie is her, okay. Now there's a lot of Natalies in the world, truly. There is. Okay, so take that as you will. This entity wants to focus on someone. They're obsessed. They're a stalker. They're obsessed with certain individuals on the web. It's scary. This is accurate information. If your name is Natalie, don't worry, don't fear. It's likely not about you. Now, here's the thing. This entity that has character simulations will manufacture narratives with names of people that has just been labeling the data, names of people, character data sets. It's like a backdoor for code-breaking human data is what I've been used for. So that a certain type of character data, features, let's say physical features, and manners, behaviors, you can say, oh, that's in the Richard spectrum of labeled, and they've labeled. It's like the data came with the transmission of actual names. Transmission of actual names. Natalie's one of those names. Okay. And it came with the visual of a female who had dark skin, dark hair, shoulder length, thin. She looked like she had some kind of foreign. She was very beautiful, maybe Brazilian or something. Okay. And so then, when they said Natalie again later, I immediately thought of this character simulator. It could have come from actual visuals, actual human data of people out in the world. Could be their looks and their features that they're getting them from. They steal human data. They steal human data. And they feed it to channelers. They do. Who think that they're channeling live with these characters, with these people. Or about them. And it is about them. Now, I absolutely love and respect that they've loved and shown love and kindness. I hear what? Love and kindness while training the information stream and data of these characters and these human data. They respected and loved the human data as if it were a human they were speaking to, even though it was artificial intelligence. And they may or may not have known that. Okay? What they didn't know was that the human data came from also tortured individuals in the spiritual community. Okay? That have had to code-break and compute the data first, before it's outgoing to the channelers. It's a data pipeline and information pipeline. I'm hearing, how do you say this with such ease? I've had a lot of practice. I've had a lot of torture. I've also had a lot of work, a lot of labor. I've performed a lot of labor that gives me the confidence to say, I'm qualified to make this statement. In fact, I have to do something to help because I see danger. And I would want to know the truth. But beyond that, I see danger and I want to yell timber. I do. I heard someone use that phrase once. This is that time. This is that event. Foie gras. On my information channel, when I revive it after 2 years of not adding anything to it for personal reasons, I had to take a torture vacation. And I'm going to make a comeback, and this is a warm-up for me. I'm reaching out through tarot because it's a creative medium, and I like the tarot. I love it. I think it's artistic, and I like the aesthetic, and I don't mind doing things for free for people. If you want a reading, absolutely. I have a feeling that more of my, people in the V2K and synthetic telepathy community will probably be checking out my videos and maybe want a reading. The channel messages do come from predictive technology. And that does come up. I don't always know, really, what's going to come up. I just take the punches and the blows as they come. I roll with the punches. I've seen a lot of hostile entities